Welcome back to On-Ayer, everyone. I am your host, Ryan Ayers. And last night, just finished up moments ago, was NBA Draft Night, which means a bunch of freakish trades take place throughout the entire night to maintain our enthusiasm through a boorish second round. So we'll touch on that momentarily, but want to go over a little bit of a summary of what happened in the draft tonight. The first pick was Ben Simmons out of LSU. He was a one and done, and Brandon Ingram, also another one and done out of Duke. They went 1-2, respectively, to Philadelphia and the Los Angeles Lakers. It should be fun to see their development. A couple of freak athletes. Ben Simmons has been compared early on in his collegiate career to LeBron James, and Brandon Ingram has unbelievable talent. He just needs to put on some muscle and some weight as quickly as possible. He'll have time, obviously, with the Los Angeles Lakers. Another note out of the draft was probably a surprisingly bad decision was Demetrius Jackson coming out a year early. He ends up being the 45th pick overall in the second round, and he goes to Boston. Boston is already loaded with point guards. Marcus Smart, obviously Isaiah Thomas. They've got Terry Rozier and R.J. Hunter as well. He had an outstanding performance in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago with his father under the helm at Georgia State. So they're loaded at point guard. I'm wondering if Demetrius Jackson's going to stick and stay there, or is it going to be a situation where he could be really regretting his decision in a few months when he could possibly be spending all of next season in the NBD League. And that's not a thing I would think he would want to do. I wouldn't want to do it. You've got an awesome opportunity of playing major Division I college basketball at Notre Dame under the dome, and you could obviously have your flights not be commercial flights. There'll be more charter flights at Notre Dame heading to great locations like Tallahassee and Miami throughout the year, while he could be spending a lot of his winter getting commercial flights to Iowa and Sioux City, South Dakota. So we'll have to check on that. I think that was probably a major mistake on his part of leaving. He needed to work on his jump shot for another year, and maybe he would have worked himself into a first-round pick. But now let's talk about some of those trades. They started yesterday with Derrick Rose being shipped off to the New York Knicks for main components of Robin Lopez and Jaren Grant, another Notre Dame superstar of 2 years ago. With that trade, you see the New York Knicks trolling the Chicago Bulls on Twitter today. I just thought that was unbelievably cocky, to put it bluntly, of the New York Knicks, really rubbing it in, making it look like Derrick Rose is the superstar of this trade that took place yesterday. It very well could possibly be the place that, the thing that takes place. But I think the Chicago Bulls, if they had, any issue with some of those posts that took place today, they ought to post one of Derrick Rose sitting on the bench, because that's what he did for the last 4 years with the Chicago Bulls. He sat on the bench, whether he was injured or too scared to play. So I think it was a great decision by the Bulls to get rid of him. He was going to leave anyway. He had one more year left on his contract, and he was going to take off. Maybe he was going to head to the Lakers or somewhere else. But he wasn't coming back to Chicago. There's just too much vitriol between the fans and himself and his brother. So I think the Bulls got the better part of that deal. Jaren Grant, explosive athlete. Robin Lopez, still in his prime and can play some really good defense. And it looks like Pau Gasol is going to go off to a team like San Antonio or Golden State in free agency. So that was a great move all around, I think, for Chicago, like I said. The other major trade that took place tonight, maybe on the blockbuster side of things, Serge Ibaka, shockingly, goes from Oklahoma City to the Orlando Magic for Oladipo, Sabonis, and Ersan Ilyasova. So that's a little bit of a trade that can question whether or not that's a big gamble for the potential signing of Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant gets now Oladipo, but he also in that mix gets a rookie power forward that he won't be used to playing with. That's a chance I think they wanted to take, obviously, at OKC, just to give Kevin Durant something different to think about in free agency. And my gut feeling says when it comes down to the wire, Kevin Durant will re-up with Oklahoma City. Oladipo might be that little bit of push that puts Kevin Durant over the top. He already loves playing with Kevin Durant already loves playing with Russell Westbrook. So I could totally see that actually being an awesome 1-2-3 punch from shooting guard, point guard, and small forward with those three guys out there on the court. Billy Donovan, obviously loves lineups like that coming from Florida. So that breaks down the NBA trades and the draft tonight. And I want to let you know, this is On Air, and I am your host, Ryan Ayers.